Warning: federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of a copyright motion picture, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. Welcome to the home of the brave. I can still count a meal without a money machine, nigga. Got on my darkest shades. This man is made. Inherit no riches. Jehovah's my witness. Physical fitness. Home economics. In the kitchen, dangerous skills. Loose in the party. Cut the noose off my neck. Black runaway slave. In the coop with a tech. This the home of the brave. They wanna know names. They told them things. Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Artist of Truth, and welcome to another vlog entry. And so today, um, I was actually following one of my someone that I subscribe to, a um, a young brother that his YouTube channel is mediocre and tutorials. Um, YouTube channel. Big shout outs to the brother for doing his thing. I appreciate his level of intelligence and how he's capable of articulating as well as dissecting different situations and providing some sound, reasonable advice to everyone, preferably us men. Big shout outs to him and everyone that is coming into this live right now. I greatly appreciate your attention, your energy, as well as your time. So what I wanted to get into is there's a video that my brother posted about can you wife an ex whore with that had a reputation. So there's I listen to some of the video, and it's interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you all, you know the video, um and basically give my honest opinion, my rebuttal on the information that is being shared with you all. So, you ready? All right, let's get into it. Go ahead and pop this up for you all. I just found it quite. I found it quite amusing. Really, really, I did. So, as my brother was saying, he said, without further ado, I like that. This brother right here, real solid. So let's check this video out.
Alan, how about this? It's not a whole lot of bodies, it's a whole lot of experience. And let me tell you something. No, it's not. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I had to get experience. But for me to be the girl that you're so in love with in the bedroom, I'm sorry, you don't want to know how I learned how to do that thing that you like. You don't want to learn how I know how to take the dick that way. I had to go through a couple of penises to learn that I don't like big dick. I don't, that's not how I orgasm. That's not how I like to get hit from the back. I'm sorry, I appreciate all the bodies because it made me the superwoman I am in the bedroom for the that I plan to spend the rest of my life with. And also having a lot of bodies, I tell my now, I'm glad you met me in the space that I am now. Why? Because I didn't fuck everybody I wanted to fuck. So it's
okay. So before I continue to play the video, is you gain experience by multiple partners. I don't know about that. You know, I honestly I don't grasp. I really can't grasp this whole mentality. All right. I can't. I can't grasp that type of mentality. You know, because it's not. It's not in a business sense. It seems like hoes try, and you might not like my choice of wording. All right, cool. It's whatever. It's your prerogative. It's my opinion. So I'm not the one to sit up here and sugarcoat shit because of extremely sensitive people. I'm not that, and I won't do that. But what I will say is, you can't compare sexual uh, experiences with business. Now, you gain experiences by by trial and error. I get it, but to place it in a sense of, oh, you know, I had to have so many uh bodies. I had to have so many sexual encounters with other uh males in order to be capable of pleasing the guy that a female is with. She had to have so many, she had to go through so many guys in order to get the experience so that she could physically satisfy one guy that she's with. Now, I don't agree with that, because what a lot of females are not understanding is, when you start, and this is for male and female as well. JC was good, man. Was good with it. This thing here it's deeper than a physical. It's much deeper than a physical um, aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's much deeper than a physical aspect, because when you start becoming physically involved and sexually involved with a person, there is a transfer. There is a transferring of certain type of energies. Okay, there's a transfer of certain type of energies, and I myself, I didn't know anything about this. This was a learning experience for me. Had to, I had to go out and not physically, but I had to go out and listen to certain people that were elaborating about the pros and the cons about having multiple partners and being sexually intertwined with them, is that certain energies that certain, that humans have are actually demonic. And when you start to, especially the brothers, when we start to become physically involved with multiple females, we have to take into consideration there are certain types of energies that's going to latch on to us. All right. There are certain types of energies that are going to latch on to us. All right. And when you start to get physically involved with other people, what happens is if that female is a toxic type of female and you are having sexual relations with her, take into account her energies latch on to you. Like, this is just some real, this is just some real shit right here. And before you know it, you are transferring that energy over to someone else unknowingly. This is this is a spiritual, this is a spiritual type of energy that we are transferring. So ladies, if you're being involved with a guy and you know the guy is toxic, but you're still physically having sex with him, be mindful. What you are holding within your womb is a toxic energy from this male. The same thing that corresponds with a male. When you dive into her womb, that you are diving into that realm, that energy. And if it's toxic, if it's if it's negative, if it is demonic, you have now exposed yourself to it. No different than a sexually transmitted disease. If this male or female has a sexually transmitted disease and you know about it, but it's like, I'll be all right, I'm still going to dive into it. You have now exposed yourself. Now this sexually transmitted disease is now in you. It's not only on you, but now it's in your bloodstream. On a spiritual level, that is the same thing. It doesn't change, So we have to be mindful of the type of energies that we are, transferring between each other. So let's go ahead and jump back into this again. Hear what our brother got to say.
It's easy for me to be faithful.
Okay. So let's pause the video right there. I had to let it play the entire way through just so you guys can understand what it is that she's talking about. She started off and she said, it's not a whole lot of bodies, it's a whole lot of experience. Now, this is the question that I pose to you. Okay. Why do you think that men value experience? Why? Because I have no idea. Like there seems to be a notion that is circulating within the female gender as if it is a good thing that you know how to do things that I never taught you. Right? As if to say you would not be able to please me unless you have the experience of a multitude of bodies before. That makes absolutely no sense, mama. I'm going to go through the reaction again because there's certain things that I wanted to call out within this particular clip. But also, let me say this as well. Shout out to this content creator. I think her name was Holiday the Golden Child. Yeah. Shout out to her because I've actually did a video on her not too long ago. And I think that at the end of the day, she's speaking from her truth. And this is her truth. And this represents a component of women in 2020, 2021. It absolutely does. And no matter how many women come on to this platform and have a problem with me reviewing certain behaviors to warn men against, this is why I do it. Because notice what she said at the end of the clip. I tell my dude, you better be happy. I got all of these eggplants out of the way before I met you. That's what I think about that. But let's keep going.
Alec, how about this? It's not a whole lot of bodies, it's a whole lot of experience. And let me tell you something. No, it's not. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I had to get experience. But for me to be the girl that you're so in love with in the bedroom, I'm sorry, you don't want to know how I learned how to do that thing that you like. You don't want to learn how I know how to take the dick that way.
Gotta pause it. I gotta pause it right here because, like I said, all right, she says one thing. Orange hair, red hair, correlation, I would think so. Okay, that's why I tell you guys all the time, when you see key indicators, right? Birds of a feather may or may not flock together, okay? But more often, they do, okay? Mm-hmm. Look how excited that she gets when she's beginning to relive the carousel that she's been on in the past.
So, I you know, I look at, you know, I listen to that, and also having multiple bodies is not an attractive thing. Okay, it's not an attractive thing, not at all. I don't know. I mean, to me that's no different than a porn star. You know, I don't know many guys who are willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna marry a porn star. I don't hear a lot of guys even talking about marrying a porn star. I've heard brothers talk about knocking one down, I've heard that, but I've never heard of any of my brothers talking about, man, I want to marry a porn star. It's like, do you not understand the number of bodies, the number of penises that she has gacked on, swallowed, spit, taken wherever there was an opening, there was a penis there, and it's like, no, because solid men who take pride in themselves and their reputation, their image, they don't want those types of females. It's like, regardless of how pretty you are, you might have a bad body and everything, but it's like, to us, we look at that and it's like, yo, shorty, you rung out. You know what I'm saying? I'll do you one better. It's like a comparison. You know how you have that one, you have two rags, right? And for those who don't know, you should always have two rags. Two face cloth and then a washcloth. The face cloth is just for what it is. Your face. You wash your face, you cleanse your face with that one rag. You never use one rag to clean your behind with. That's just redundant. That's ugh. But you know how you have that one rag that you used it and used it and used it. After like 2 weeks, you start noticing how the rag dry up and it's like crippled and all dry. That's exactly how we view a female like that. You you think that having multiple experiences, gacking on big fucking, fucking sucking and all that. You think that having multiple dicks is going to, you know, make us want you even more because she knows how to suck dick. She knows how to swallow. She knows how to, she knows how to take the dick. She knows how to ride the dick and everything. No, that's like that one crumpled, dried up, worn out, smelly rag that no matter how many times you rinse it out, wring it out, and hang it out to dry, it still draws up and it's crinkly. You know what I'm saying? It still draws up on the shower curtain rod, and it's just hanging there and you look at it and you're just like, I don't want to put that on my body. I don't want to put it on my body. I don't even want to put that shit on my face. It's just like, let me take that shit out and just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's no good. It's like the hell would I want with something like that? But anyway, let us continue.
Yeah, all that experience. Is that her left hand? Is there a ring? I don't think that I see one. But let's move on.
I had to go through a couple of penises to learn that I don't like big dick.
But moreover, did you notice something? Look, you don't see a ring on her on her finger either. I noticed that. As soon as brother pointed that out, I didn't see no ring on her finger. But this is this is whole what they call it, I guess a whole revelation and whatnot. But anyway,
to learn that I don't like big dick. I don't. That's not how I orgasm. That's not how I to get hit from the back. I'm sorry. I appreciate all the bodies because it made me the super one I am in the bedroom for the nigga that I plan to spend the rest of my life with. And also having a lot of bodies, I tell my now, I'm glad you met me in the space that I am now. Why? Because I done fucked everybody I wanted to. So it's easy for me to be fucking faithful.
So, and also in this sense, she stated, it makes it easier for her to be loyal. Chris Brown produced a song not long ago saying these hoes ain't loyal. They don't know how to be. Honestly, I believe they don't know how to be, and personally, it starts at home. It starts by what you are being taught, about being, about being a woman, because to me, that's not a woman. That's a female. That's just a female that happened to be black. And that's why I always have that hashtag up, why I don't take black females seriously. Black women, or should I say melanated women, I take seriously. I listen to them. I take them much more serious than a black female. But moreover, whoever she's involved with, I guess he has no level of standards for himself, or he has to be looking at her as a money bag. he has to be looking at her as, as a means of come up, because if you have any level of standards about yourself as a male, as a melanated man, you're not going to settle for you're that you will never settle for that. You will never settle for that, because it's like you have yourself here, and you know your worth, you know your value, you know what you can offer a melanated woman, and you are here. And then all of a sudden, someone that's trying to get here, that's down here, it's like, why would you come down in order to obtain a female like that? And it's like, you're cool with that, you know? It's like, yo, what kind of nonsense is this, right? But anyway, let's let's continue. Let's hear what our brother has to say.
So it's easy for me to be faithful, okay? Because I done everything. I done sufficiently spun around the carousel to my heart's content. So now it's easy.
And here we have one of these retarded commercials.
Easier for me to what? We cannot continue to treat this as if it is normal, because the data says the exact opposite. Let me show you. So I'm out here at the Institute of Family Studies. Guys, I've gone over this website a ton of times before, but I'll leave a link to this in the description box down below so you can do your own research and due diligence. So the question that they ask at the top, does sexual history affect marital happiness? Let's go down and take a look. So you'll see here a graph, and what this graph represents. Hold on, let me move this to the side real quick. What this graph represents, the relationship between sexual history and marital satisfaction. Let me make this a little bit larger so you can see that. All right, so what you're seeing here on the y-axis, percent reporting very happy in their marriage, all right? And on the x-axis here, the number of partners that they had, okay? What you guys are seeing here is between both men and women, a decrease in marital satisfaction, the more partners that they have. If that's not a decreasing trend line, I don't know what is. Again, link down in the description box down below if you want to read everything in this study. That's why I like to take real life circumstances and then look at number to actually, because if you look in the comment section of what she's saying, yes, go ahead, honey boo boo child, and all of that shit right there, tell the truth. And it could be her truth. But let's compare people's individual truths to statistical analysis to say, on average, does this behavior add value to our lives or does it not? If your goal.
Now, he made, made a very, very valid point, that going to this extent of having, a multitude of bodies, they really don't serve any purpose. I mean, over time, it really devalues the female. It takes her value down more and more and more, because I mean, who wants what God, what king would want a goddess, would want a female that has been roaming about the kingdom, and she's had so many dicks in her mouth. She's had so many, penises in her universe, and it's like, I'm like, are you like, where do we come from with with this type of nonsense? Like, I can't. But let's continue on to this video.
Viable for anybody to lesser their value, right? Whether you're a guy having sex for 500 women or you're a girl having sex for 100 men, right? No, but there's a big but. In the world that we live in today, it is way more and forever will be more socially acceptable for a man to have more sexual partners than a woman.
Get judged for nothing. Y'all do whatever y'all want, and women get blamed for everything. Women gotta be perfect. Women gotta have the perfect breasts, the perfect titties, gotta have bodies under 10. You can't f everybody, but men could go. When it comes to sexual things, men just get it. When it comes to sexual things, men just get away with a lot of things.
This is what you refer to as penis envy. All right. There's a lot of things that men are not privileged in society with. There's a lot of things that women are not privileged in society with. There's a lot of things that men need to do to be determined to be successful in society. And there's a lot of things that women have to do in order to be determined to be successful in society. But to take that and to simplify it, that men get to do all of this shit and then women don't, why do men get to have less negative repercussions for having more bodies than women? Listen, we're not the same. You're built differently than me. I have an Audi, you have an innie. You look straight down and there's a difference there. And that difference feeds into the double standard, because I'll admit it is a double standard. Within our society, it's viewed differently. But I think the logic falls when you start trying to compare yourself to different body parts than yourself. It's different. Different mental capacities, different chemicals that fire in our brain. It's different. All right, let's keep going.
But women get like crucified for wanting to have a little fun. We get crucified for wanting to have a one night stand. We get crucified for
And guess what? The man got crucified because this is the same woman that's blaming the man that left her life.
And see there it goes. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen. He actually said it, because for us, it's different, but we also come under a level of scrutiny, because if a woman that we are interested in, if she gets like a word of mouth that, oh, he's been with this chick, he's been with that chick, he's been with that chick, that chick, oh, he's been with multiple females, then that woman, she's going to fall back. Just facts. She's going to back away from it. She's like, nah, I can't respect that. You got too many, you have a reputation. And it's like, come on, yeah, bro, you're right. The way these chicks talk is just unattractive. Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right.
You just said, God forbid, you know a nigga wants to be in a room with a bunch of niggas that hit because they're gonna look at him crazy. No, that's not what's happening. Hold on, wait. How about this? You're in a room with not a bunch of niggas, maybe one, occasionally, two, if ever, that may have dealt with your woman, not on some one night stand. I'm sorry, your girlfriend's attractive. She's dated a few. Hold on. She's dated a few men, and at the end of that dating, they had sex. She was not a fly by night girl. She was not nothing. He was just and passing around. She was a girl he was pursuing, and it didn't work out. So what happens in between that? You got to go to somebody else. You move on. Now you happen to be in the room with those niggas that may have dealt with her, not her and passed her along like some hot dog to her and dealt with her. No, they're not looking at you crazy. What they're looking at is you wiped her. She's loyal to you, and you got her in a place where I was trying to get with her.
No. So let me just stop it right here, because what's sister said is not, no, it is not by far how we actually think. See, that's the thing that really kind of irks me about certain females is they believe they know what we thinking and they know what, they know what we're about to say. But no, you know what I'm saying? If I know that a chick I done gotten down with and I done smashed her 1 or 2 times and it didn't work out, for whatever reason, if I know my homeboy is if my homeboy is trying to holler at her, or he decides that 9 times out of 10, if he's trying to holler at her, I'm gonna let him know. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and let my brother link up and try and wife a chick that I used to smash. It's like, we don't do that type of thing. And especially if we know, look, if we know, this is the funny part. We're not going to just sit there and be like, oh, well, we're not going to sit there. And I'm just being honest. We're not going to sit there and say, I'm not going to say anything, or, this, that, the fifth, blah, 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 yakety, yakety. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he wants to do. We're not just going to not say anything about it. We're going to address it straight out, especially if we know what her history is. And as men, a good bit of us, we're looking out, what I'm saying? We're looking out for, we're looking out for each other. I had to come downstairs and grab my charger. But as men, we're looking out, we try, some of us, we try to look out for, for each other. But we're just, if anything, some dudes will sit up there and just bust out laughing like, is this nigga really going? Is he really and truly about to wife? Is he really and truly about to wife this chick? I was like, bro, some dudes will sit back and laugh because they're going to look at him and be like, shoot, you about to kiss this same chick in her mouth that she just set up here and just, and just a couple of months ago, she was just gacking. Like literally gacking on my penis. And then the funny part about it is there's another dude that's in the same room that's probably like, yeah, I ran down on the 2, homie. Whether or not he says it or not, but it's that's what it is. That's how that's how we think. I don't know where she comes from with that, but incorrect. But let us continue.
One man trying.
Just real quick on that. I think that she wasn't properly comparing. He was comparing multiple, plural dudes in a room, compadres that have all messed with her, and now you trying to be hand in hand with her. And what she said is a situation with one man, and then that they tried to pursue, and then she slided in there after that. Oh yeah, now in a room with multiple dudes. I think that it's every situation has to be weighed in contrast and compared, because dudes have ego things with what was once conquered. And that has to be respected. It just has to be, because that's how we are wired. Okay.
It's the next man's treasure. You didn't see the value. And you know what you sound like? You sound like people who was, you sound like some of us who was already here in America, who was around gold. And then someone came to America and says, gold is valuable. Now we're mad that someone else has the gold. So at the end of the day, you're jealous. Because you couldn't get her like everybody has the gold.
Wait a minute. And look, this, yeah, I mean, bro, this, this dude right here, this dude to me is a version of a simp. That is another prime example of a simp. You can't call trash treasure. You can't compare trash to gold. You can't. I don't honestly, this brother hasn't really fully experienced a what a what consists of a goddess, what consists of an empress. Because if he did, it would be an entirely different ballgame. He would not be saying what he's saying. It was like one man's trash is another man's treasure. No, no, bro. One man's trash is another man's treasure. In what sense? Because if that is the case, you have to start looking inside of that trash. I'm not just going to sit up here and hold a bag, I'm not going to sit up here and hold a bag of trash and, in front of you all. And, I don't like it. I don't want it anymore. And then you just sit it out on the curb. Who goes by and snatches up another bag, a bag of trash, without really going through it to see whether or not, hey, do I want this? Do I have a use for this in my life or not? Go ahead and can I use this? Now, I might be able to use this, so I'm going to keep this. Does it mean that you sit up here and you take trash? Because before you know, you're picking out bits and pieces, you're taking out bits and pieces from this big bag of trash. And it's like, well, I only got one thing, a whole bag of trash that actually has some sort of meaning in my life. Anything else, I don't need this. The heck is, why would I need a remote and I don't even have a television? Why would I need that? So to use that, to use that comparison, oh, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You're not a deep thinker. You're really not thinking what you're saying. You're just being a typical simp. But I digress. Let us continue.
Let me say something, Rod. That sounds real cute, but that's not always the case. That's not always a man in the past wanting to pursue a woman that got away and is now with someone who got to keep her. It's always the fact that if this is a woman that had sex with multiple guys and now she's with you, it's not because the other men couldn't keep her. It's probably because the other men did not want her.
That's a fact. But you know what? Look here. Let me elaborate something real quick, because the sister was dead. She was dead on it. She was dead on it. And if you notice, childish people, and this is childish people were in the ground laughing about this. I mean, they were literally laughing. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like, what was remotely comical? I'm like, what was so comical about what she stated? I mean, she stated the truth. She stated the truth. By saying, a chick had multiple guys, and look, we're not stupid, if we get involved with a woman, we find out that she's really not the woman that we thought she was, or she was doing too much, then why should we keep her? Like, honestly, if a woman is toxic, why would you keep her? The same notion I use for my sisters. If a man is toxic, why are you keeping him? Oh, because he got money? That means nothing. You stay with someone and you know that this person, so they're toxic, you're not happy being with this person, then why stay? No different. You have multiple guys, they probably been with this chick and they were just like, you know what? You don't know how to be still. Respect me. You don't respect yourself. So why should I continue? Why should I keep you? Why should I stay with you? Why? Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm good. Let someone else deal with this headache. And what happens is she goes throughout life, just as brother was saying, carousel ride. Just dick, 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 until she gets to a point in her life where she's tired of dick, 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 dick. She actually wants to sit still. It's not about her finding the right guy or anything. No, I don't even believe that. I believe personally, she has gotten to the point where she's starting to realize, hey, I'm getting up in age now. I'm not a 20-year-old where I can just be ripping and running and, I can talk to this guy, talk to that guy. No, she's probably somewhere in her mid-30s, vastly approaching 40, and starting to realize that, shit, you could be a nigga's cougar. You can be a cougar now, but that's it. Oh, you want me to wife you? No, I'm good. I know your reputation. You've been around the block several times. Yeah, you got experience. You made me feel good. Yeah, girl, you goggle my balls and slob my knob and swallowed and all this other good, great stuff. But I don't want to bring you home around my people, because somebody gonna know. It's like, yeah, damn, boy, she got a track record. And I don't mean employment wise. She got a track record. She done been around the racetrack several times. So it's like, now everyone's looking at you like, yeah, this fool jumped up. He done married a daggone hoe. He done married him a little scallywag. And it was like, before long, you be done married her, and then all of a sudden, other issues tend to arise. And next thing you know, you were looking in the mirror at yourself like, man, why did I marry this chick? Because she made you feel good. Not that you could have a real meaningful, stable relationship where she honors and respects you as well as herself. She feels like, oh, she has to know how to do all of these things just to please you. Like, that's not always the case for us men. That is not always the case for us men. Ladies, please pay attention. Let us go ahead and continue this on.
Their only goal for some females is just to hit. Yeah. It's to hit and go. And that's why they can never stay with one man and have to go on to the next man, because it didn't work out with them. That man just wanted to fuck. So I can't continue a relationship with him. He didn't want me. So now here I am to the next man and to the next man, until I finally got to you, who wants me and is now pursuing me for a relationship.
When a man meets a woman every man that met a woman, they got a goal for you. They got a purpose for you. Some men meet you. I'm not meet Amanda. I just want to fuck her. I don't have no purpose for you. I don't want to get to know you. I'm not gonna go there with you. But I might meet Nikki, and I'm like, you know what? I want to know. I want to get to know Nikki. Now, Nikki's wifey material. Men pick and choose
that's me.
sometimes.
That's the fuck. That's me.
But I'm just saying, men pick and choose who they already got. And like when a man meets you, they already know what they want to do with you. So now, low-key, you might change their mind, but like a lot of times, you can't change a man's mind. So if that goal is to fuck you, you're gonna get and go home.
So the women.
All right, that is the end of the video. Shout out again to 8 at the table. Feel free to go up there.
But yeah, so this, I'm not even gonna lie. This was a very informative video. Once again, shout outs to brother from Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews for sharing, putting this content out. I could not help it. I couldn't help the simple fact that he brought forth this content, and I had to weigh in on it. I really and truly, I had to. Bro, I always said I'm scared to be with someone that's been with everybody. And you have every right to feel that way. I mean, come on now. Let us be honest with ourselves and each other. Who really and truly wants to be involved with a person that's been around the block several times? Like, who wants to be in a relationship trying to build with someone solely because, they sexualize, they make me feel so good. They just, she just knows how to do this and he just knows how to do that. And it's like, it's more to a relationship than just the sexual aspect. But when you have multiple bodies and you feel like, when you have multiple bodies and feel as if you are top tier, you're really not top tier. You're just, as I stated, you're just like that old crinkle rag that's sitting on the shower stall, that's hanging from that shower rod. It dries up, but it's like when you wring it out and you air it out and just throw it over the shower, the shower rod, you look at it and it's hanging there and it's perfect. It looks almost brand new because, hey, moisture was, some moisture had gotten to it. But when reality sets in, the real rag shows its true colors. You see what happens. That damn rag draws up, crinkles up, and then you looking at it like you poke at it like, why the fucking rag like this? Because it's over and done with. It's time to throw that rag out. The rag served its purpose. Throw that rag out, man. No one, I mean, who wants to do that? Like, yo, do you want to continue to, would you want to use a rag that everybody has used? And then you look at it on the shower rod and you looking at it like, why is the rag looking like, ugh? And that's, honestly, that's my personal view. That is my personal view about a female thinking that she has to have experience sexual wise and to have a sense of loyalty, because loyalty comes from understanding that when you meet a guy, if this guy accepts you and he's willing to build with you, he has a connection with you that stems far beyond the physical aspect, because the sexual intercourse comes in my humble opinion, The sex comes in as the icing on the cake. You know, who in the hell is going to put icing on a cake and the cake is molded on the inside? It's like, who's going to sit up here and put icing on a cake, and then when you cut the cake, it's like the cake itself is just dry. It's like, oh, the icing is great, and you find, and you see it now. If someone bakes a cake and the icing is good, but the cake itself is dry, what do people usually do? Eat the icing. They'll eat the icing and then they'll leave the cake because they don't want the cake. The cake is no good. I was like, y'all done sat up here and dried the cake out. Ladies, don't follow behind ex-hoes with that still possess a hoe mentality. That is not going to work out in your favor. Coming from the mouth of a God. And honestly, I don't want any of my sisters to feel like, oh, there you go. This is another Negro putting a sister down or this, that, and the fifth. I was like, look, if my sister is wrong, I'm gonna tell her she's wrong. If my brother is wrong, I'm going to tell him he's wrong. But in this case, look, I gotta look out for my brothers. Point blank, period. If you know this chick has been around the block several times, look here. There's nothing wrong with meeting there's nothing wrong with meeting a woman that doesn't know how to do any and everything. Because if you can teach her how to do something, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, because that means you were able to teach her something that is sacred. That means she's learning from you. But damn, if she comes into she comes into the situation and you want to wife her because she can do all of these things, she can gack on your dick, she can toss your salad, pause. She can swallow your kids and she's a throat baby and everything. Look, that's not even attractive. That's not even attractive, because furthermore, when you go out in public, look, when you take those types of females, ex-hoe, retired porn star, look here, when you take those types of females out into a public setting, there's going to be guys around who's going to be like, some dudes would throw indicators, like for real. Some guys would actually throw indicators. They would look at you and be like, and they keep going on about their business. Pay attention. Pay attention. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I spent an hour on this, but I greatly appreciate everyone coming in, leaving, giving, chiming in and whatnot. My brother JC, shout outs to my brother JC. Follow this brother on 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 the YouTube channel. My brother JC has some very, very interesting, informative content, especially on his Facebook Yard Stream platform. Check him out. Show him some mad love. Yo, bro, JC, drop your information in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? I have to continue to promote my brothers. That is my job, is to promote, give insight. These channels are not designed to belittle our melanated women. These channels are to create a sense of awareness, put the ugly truth out there for everyone to see, and to grow. You know what I'm saying? To grow. So I will catch you all later. All right. Peace.
Feeling the same. All these criminals pay. Wearing bellies and gold. I'm selling dope chains to the States. And maybe